everybody. So in this video, I am going to go over the song lyrics that you were asked to read and respond to for the week 1 discussion. If you did not get a chance to participate in the week 1 discussion, if you didn't end up posting, you can still watch this video, and you're going to need to watch this video in order to complete the Journal 2 for this week. I have attached a copy of the lyrics to this assignment. So you'll see a file attached that says Song, Wanted Dead or Alive. So you can still bring up the lyrics and read them and think about them, and then watch the rest of this video and then do the journal for week 2. Okay. But the song was Wanted Dead or Alive. Perhaps some of you were already familiar with this song. And if you weren't familiar with it, that's fine. Not a big deal. Maybe you listened to a version of the song or watched a video of the song. You didn't have to, but maybe you did. But we're going to look at literally just the lyrics, almost as if it was a poem. So I'm going to tell you right away what the song is about, because that's one of the questions that you were asked to respond to for the discussion. Excuse me. The song is actually about being a musician on tour. And I'm going to go through the song and show you how we know that, how we figure it out. If you thought it was something else, that's okay. It's very easy to take some of this literally, some of the lyrics. It's easy to take some of the words literally. In the chorus it says, I'm a cowboy. So if you thought he was really a cowboy, that's understandable. They're saying they are. But the whole piece is actually an extended metaphor. And we're going to learn, if you don't already know, what a metaphor is. It is when you are comparing two things that are seemingly not similar. And we're comparing them in a way that almost makes it seem like they are the same thing. The comparison is so strong, the similarities are so striking that they're almost exactly alike. So instead of saying, I'm like a cowboy, which leaves a lot of room for being not like a cowboy, we're saying, I am a cowboy. This metaphor, though, doesn't just happen in one line or one section. It carries all the way through. So that's why it is an extended metaphor. So in that first stanza, the first verse, it's all the same, only the names will change. Every day it seems we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. So we already have this tone that's set here. It's all the same. Only the names will change. It's got the names of the people, the names of cities or towns, the names of streets. Don't know. But it's almost like everything is the same, no matter what. It's all the same, only the names change. Every day it seems we're wasting away. That's not pleasant sounding. It's another place where the faces are so cold. That doesn't sound pleasant either. Right? The faces are so cold, like they lack emotion. I drive all night just to get back home. Implying that where they currently are is not someplace they really want to be. That they would rather drive all night just to get back home. And then, I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. So this is our first clue here that he's not really a cowboy. Even though he just said, I'm a cowboy. He says, on a steel horse I ride. Well, if a horse is made of steel, you wouldn't actually be able to ride it. So that's our first clue that even though he's saying I'm a cowboy, he does not mean a literal cowboy. Do we know yet what he does mean? Not quite. What might a steel horse be if it's not a real, literal steel horse? Maybe we'll get some clues about that. We also find out he's wanted, dead or alive. Now that kind of goes with being a cowboy, right? Especially if you're like an outlaw cowboy. You know, see your face on a wanted poster, wanted, dead or alive. We know what that means in the context of actual cowboys. They have, you know, done something illegal, committed some sort of crime. They are wanted by the law, and it doesn't matter if they're found dead or alive. Just want to stop this person. They want them to be captured and their criminal activities to be stopped. Whether that's because they've been brought in and thrown in jail, or whether it's because they've been killed, doesn't really matter. Well, if he's not really a cowboy, again, going back to can't really ride a steel horse, then what might that mean? Wanted, dead, or alive? Is he a criminal? Or is he wanted, dead, or alive in some other way? We'll keep reading. Sometimes I sleep. Sometimes it's not for days. The people I meet always go their separate ways. So sometimes he goes for days at a time without sleeping. And then other times he sleeps, you know, at least at some point during the day. And the people that he meets, they always go their separate ways. Nobody sticks around. Sometimes you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. What kind of bottle? A bottle of water? A bottle of soda? A bottle of liquor? So if it's Monday, we're drinking vodka. Or, if we're drinking vodka, it must be Monday. If we're drinking tequila, it must be Tuesday. Sometimes you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. So you don't even know what day it is. The only way you even have a clue is based on what you're drinking that day. So there must be some sort of pattern or routine to it. That's what they're implying. Sometimes when you're alone, all you do is think. Well, that's interesting. And then again, I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. This next set of lines is where we get the most convincing evidence that he is not a real cowboy and that he is in fact a musician. I walk these streets a loaded 6-string on my back. That's making reference, it's a comparison to like a gun, right? So instead of a gun, it's a 6-string. Well, what would have 6 strings that you could wear on your back? A guitar. I play for keeps because I might not make it back. Again, a cowboy, living pretty dangerously. That's where the comparison is. What does it mean literally, though? I play for keeps because I might not make it back. Something is somewhat dangerous in some way about the life that he lives. I've been everywhere, all over. Still I'm standing tall. And this is where it happens. I've seen a million faces, and I've rocked them all. And then we get the chorus again. The cowboy on a steel horse I ride. We get it twice, right? Wanted, dead or alive. So he's rocked them all with a loaded 6-string. Millions of people, from all over the world. He's been everywhere. He doesn't sleep for days at a time. There's a lot of drinking happening. He is a musician on tour. You know, I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. So if you take it to be just an individual musician, maybe he's riding a motorcycle, or maybe it's a tour bus. So I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm a musician on a tour bus I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. You would expect that if he is this, you know, if successful musician, you know, he's been a million places and rocked them all, right? That he's living his best life. But we already established from the very beginning that the tone is actually much sadder, much more somber than what you would imagine for a really awesome, successful, popular musician. So he's a rock star who feels like a cowboy. And he's made all these comparisons between his life and the life of a cowboy. And it all comes back to being wanted, dead or alive. And we already talked about why a cowboy would be wanted, dead or alive. But why would a rock star be wanted, dead or alive? What does he mean by that? And why would it cause him to have this kind of tone? Wanted, dead or alive. So he's up there playing and singing, and all of these adoring fans, they want him dead or alive. Just like the law with a cowboy doesn't care if he's brought in dead or alive, doesn't matter. These fans don't really care. Dead or alive, they just want you to perform. They don't care if you're sick. They don't care how long you've been traveling. They don't care how long you've been away from home, how long you've been away from your family. They don't really care about you personally, no matter how much it seems like they do. You're really just wanted, dead or alive. And after so long on the road, you start to feel like that cowboy, right? So just an interesting perspective on being a very popular traveling rock star, and very cool use of the metaphors, the extended metaphor. It's very successful. You know, it always surprises me sometimes, thinking back on this song, these lyrics, and just how poetic they actually are. So if you didn't quite get there when you first read it and responded in last week's discussion, it's okay. You know, we're going to keep practicing this. But hopefully this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of how to approach future lyrics in the discussion. They are like poetry. There are tools and techniques and skills that are common to both poetry and songwriting. And that sometimes you can't take things at face value. And that there are clues within the lines to help you figure out what's really going on. So, you know, sometimes we'll get there, and sometimes we won't. Sometimes it'll still stump us, and that's fine. Alright, so that's it for Wanted, Dead or Alive. And you guys are free to go ahead and move on and watch the instruction video for Journal 2.